Networking, basically what it does is it creates a sales team for you out there.
Networking is one of those things where it's not something like you're gonna go and too much, you're gonna have a whole bunch of leads and you're gonna have all this new business and your life is gonna change. You know, I always relate it to the gym because the gym takes 2 and 3 months and you see little small changes over time, and then one day you look in the mirror and you're like, holy smokes, look at me. Networking takes a minimum 6 to 8 months before you start to see results. It's, you know, you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. You plant seeds everywhere you go, and then all of a sudden you start to get that first call. And then when you get to the end of the year, the beautiful thing about networking is that it grows exponentially. So all those seeds that you planted in that first year, by the end of the second year, start to really come up, and all of a sudden your leads are doubling and tripling just because you kept putting the time.
Chef, completely relationship based. Top 2% of the companies spoke at 3 national conferences on sales, recruiting, and team building. Okay, this is the same person who couldn't make enough money by cold calling. Okay, unique impressions. I brought on 153 clients in less than 3 years, so it's about 1 a week. No. Delaware Shout Out, which is my current company, we started in 2014. In 2015, our sales tripled, and in January, we doubled our clientele again. Just networking.
Really, we started off here in Delaware, then we grew into a global, a national brand, and we really do trainings around the world at this point. And it all started because of networking.
Very much like a lot of these panel members here, I've basically grown my business in networking. One of the things that I learned early on was, they all said the same thing here. People buy from you because they like you, they trust you, and they know you can deliver the goods and services. So you need all 3 components of that to be able to sell to people or be able to help people out of
The
business.
number one thing I hear is I don't have time to network. And when I hear this, I think we all have the same 24 hours in our days. So this is more than excuses, a cop-out. You know, networking is something that you have to make time for. It's not going to happen unless you make time for it. Just like going to the gym, if you don't make time for going to the gym, you're not going to build muscle and get fit. Networking is something that you can't afford to not make time for. It can have an extreme impact on your business.
Look, busy equals ineffective, busy equals broke, right? If you're busy all the time, you will be broke. You have to know what you want, you gotta know who you want, and you gotta know what to do when you get in front of that.
Don't go out there and just try and sell yourself in networking. Go out there and learn about the person. Go out there and find out how you can help that person out. Because when you go out there with the mindset of helping that person out, they immediately
When
want
I'm
to help
going
you
to a
back.
networking event, my goal is to talk to 2 or 3 people I already know, because you want to build relationships, and then talk to 2 or 3 people I don't already know. You don't want, so it doesn't really matter if a networking event has 20 people or 200 people, because you're really only going to really have between 4 and 6 quality conversations. And if you want to put math to something, there's the math for networking, because you want to build relationships while meeting new people. Focus on getting their information, but not necessarily sharing yours. But please don't come to a networking event with flyers or brochures. Because what happens is you already have people that are trying to negotiate their drink and maybe a small plate of food and their business cards, and now you're giving them something bulky to hold. And it's really awkward. And they didn't ask to carry, now they have to carry this piece of paper or this flyer around the whole time, politely. Also, when they get back to their office, where are they going to file this? Do they have to create a file for you? And then finally, have a system for following, for tracking people and following.
And as Joe said over here, these guys all make great points. 85% of sales is following.
System win, write this down, this is good knowledge, right? I get paid a lot of money. Systems win, people fail. Okay, systems win, people fail. If you rely on people, you will fail. If you rely on the systems, you'll win. Because you need systems, right? Networking is about going out and meeting people, but then you need what? A system of selling, knowing where you are, and a system of marketing, a system of follow through, and then a sales process, right? A sales funnel.
So you need a system, as Joe said, you need a system put in place on how you're going to follow through, and you need to get them into the sales or marketing funnel, the people in there, and you need to help them out. it takes, as he said, like 8 to 12 touches, but I usually say 6 to 8 touches before you're actually gonna get to the sale. So you need to make sure that you keep following through with those people. But when they say no, it's not no never. It's no, not now.
do a monthly newsletter, and I work on the last week of the month. And in the bottom of that newsletter is every single event that I'll be at for that month. And what I do is I go to every organization I'm a member of, and I put that event on my calendar. I live and die by that calendar. My meetings, unless it's an emergency, go around that. So, you know, if I need to have a staff meeting, if I need to, you know, do anything around the office, or I need to meet with a client, as long as it's not an emergency or whatever, even my new sales calls, I still schedule them around my, you know, no one expects to call you and have a meeting the very next day at 9 a.m. So, while I try and schedule new client relationship meetings as soon as possible, I'm still gonna work around my networking schedule, because that's my priority. So, if you don't have time, perhaps you're probably working in your business and not on your business. My advice to you is to find someone, hire a part-timer, offload something that doesn't make you money. Because if you're spending time in your business on things that do not make you money, you're wasting your time. Somebody else can do that for lesser.
I treat my networking just like I treat appointments, the same as Jake. And I put that time on my schedule, and I do the same thing that Jake does, is I schedule around that time. That appointment to me is just as important as an appointment with the client, because that's where I get my salespeople. By going to those networking groups, I have another sales force out there that I don't need to be out there
One of
working.
the most important parts of networking is don't do it for 2 years and reap all your rewards and then stop doing it. It is a never-ending process. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know where leads are going to
Networking
come
is part
from.
of the sales process, okay? Sales process. Because you're not meeting people to meet people, that's not the name of the game. You're meeting people to eventually sell them, to close them at some point, or gain a referral, a JV, a joint venture, an affiliate, some sort of partnership. If not, they're really not much good to you. So you never know who you're going to meet, but you better know what you do when you meet the right person. Because networking isn't about just going out and meeting people, it's being smart and intelligent. Intelligence wins. You gotta figure out who's your audience and get in front of them. If you're networking with people who can't afford your service, right, who don't buy your service, you're gonna waste a lot of time. You'd be much better off targeting what groups of people that going to move you where you wanna go. Then you gotta put into a system. So the biggest challenge I see is the same challenges, right? People don't have a system, or they have a system, guess what? They don't what? Use it, they'll follow it. Right, think about the follow-up system here, guys. Right, 80% of all sales, 80% of all sales comes from the 5th to 12th follow-through. Now, what's a follow-through? It's not a marketing piece. A follow-through is getting someone back on the sales funnel. That makes sense? If you're off the sales process, you gotta bring them back, okay? And so it takes 5 to 12. 43% of all people, all salespeople, do not do zero follow-throughs after the
Means
first
you have to
contact.
have a process. So you start with that idea, because you always want to be able to do whatever it is you're doing faster, better, cheaper. And to
So
do
if you
that,
know
you need
what
a
you
process.
want your business, what your practice to look like, and all the things that need to be done, you can start down that path of how do you do it. And just like Jake said, you know, the first time, that's a pay cut, you know, but it frees you up. And you start to be able to put in place the plan to do it, which will require the systems, you know, all the things that we've talked about here, but you gotta know where you're going.